everybody is here. So Matt, can you man the lobby and we'll get everybody in.
Will do.
Lovely, fantastic. Well, good morning all. Welcome to the GovAssist webinar, and I'm here joined by my colleague Matthew. Leani should be with us shortly from ONH Planning.
I am here, Steve.
You are?
Hello.
I can't see. Whereabouts
Yes.
are you?
Somewhere in the list.
What are you? What are you, Matt Jennings?
Well, yes. Apologies.
Yes, you are.
I signed in
That's
on a different account.
That's why you threw me. I thought you spoke. Right, bear with me. Sorry, everybody. Leani has crept in under her alias for today's webinar. So, right, lovely, fantastic. So let's move forward. The people behind GovAssist. So here at Cloudy, there's myself, and I work with my colleagues Lewis and Matthew. Matthew's here. Matthew, do you want to say hi?
Hello. I'll be interrupting
and David as well. I don't know where David is. David, are you?
I am. Yes, I am here. Hi, Steve. Hello, everyone. Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, I've found you now. You weren't a prisoner. You were down on the. There we go. So, David, now, do you want to say a few words?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we put today together just to run through the platform. It's fast moving. We're really proud of what we've come up with. The first, specific AI platform for town and parish councils, and Steve's going to run through, real hands-on overview of some of the features and how you can get the most out of it as well. So, thanks for joining us, and yeah, hopefully, it'll be of great use to yourselves.
Thanks, David. So, right. GovAssist, what is it? So it is built for town and parish and community councils in England and Wales. It's framed around that legislation. It launched November last year, roughly, was the first time it was probably publicly available. There was a few test councils on before that, and we've got some good numbers on it now. We pulled a couple off yesterday ahead of today, and 20,000 chats last month. And we were really impressed with that figure. It sort of peaks around that, but last month it just sneaked over 20,000 chats. So that's a lot of conversations people are having with our AI platform, and we're really, really proud of these milestones that we can see. So what we're going to look at today, I'm going to take you, I'm a little bit of a walk through the settings in GovAssist. So those of you that have it, some of this will be familiar to you, some of it might not be. I'm going to show you some of the new tools that are available to it as well, that are coming soon. They will be, they're ready. We're just doing some testing, so they should be with you very, very shortly. Then we'll have a look around the marketplace. Not all of you have probably explored the marketplace. If you have, brilliant. If you haven't, we'll have a look at that. And then Leani is going to have a little bit of a chat about the planning assistance they have available in the marketplace and demonstrate some of their capabilities. And then we'll look at some of the other features in the platform. So I will move on. Leani, do you want to introduce yourself, if you could, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. So I'm Leani Haim, I'm Planning Director at ONH. Some of you, I'm sure, will have come across us. We are planning consultants, and we like to think of ourselves as a social enterprise that help town and parish councils engage in the planning system in a meaningful way. And when we heard what Cloudy IT was developing, we were very excited because we saw AI kind of naturally happening anyway, but we wanted to ensure that our clients wouldn't be exposed to some of the downfalls that the AIs on the marketplace have. So we spent a lot of time testing and feeding and training our AI models on the platform so that it didn't make things up, hallucinate, and so that it was fed with trusted sources. So we've got 3 platforms on there, which I assume, Steve, I'll just talk about later again. Okay?
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of a run through them when we pop into your session. So people, and again, I think a lot of people are going to be very excited about the tools that the assistants that you've built. They're very, I think planning is one of those areas where probably a lot of councils could do with help, even on a daily basis, on understanding applications. And for those of you that may be going through a neighbourhood plan, whether it a review or the creation, or maybe you have an emerging local plan and you want to test your local plan against your neighbourhood plan against that, these tools will help you with that. So, right, and then what have we got coming? What's coming on the future? So I'm going to have a little bit of a walk through the platform. I'll show you some of the bits that are available now. And then what we will also do is have a look at, as I mentioned earlier on, some of the bits that are coming soon. And I think most of these people have been asking us for grants. We've got a couple of tools. One will help you find grants. You can say, I need a grant for some new park benches, or maybe you're sprucing up your flower planters. It can go off and have a look to find suitable grant funding sources for that. On the flip side, if you have people applying to you for grants, you can use the tool to analyze those grant applications against your grant policy and see how they align. A policy review, talking of policies, tools that will help you make new policies, review your existing policies, and effectively see if there are any gaps. You've had these policies a couple of years, or you may be taking on a new service and you need an additional policy for it. It will also help with risk assessments as well. So if you're doing something, you're having an outside event or an inside event, and you might want a risk assessment for it, the tool will be helpful for that, especially with Martin's Law now on the horizon. This is something, again, a lot of us will need to be reviewing a lot of policies to see if they align with that legislation, and GovAssist can help you. One of the massive bits we get asked about with GovAssist is data security, and how secure is the data. So the platform is built around that first. Your data is private. It's not used for training. It's not shared with anybody. It's your data for your council. But one of the risks that comes up is inadvertently entering some personal information, whether you've pasted an email in, or maybe you've got a document that's got a list of information in it, and if you have an AI like ChatGPT or something like that, you paste a document in, and off it goes to process it and look at it, and you suddenly realize, oh dear, that contained information that I shouldn't have shared. It's not coming back. Once it's gone, it's been consumed. So we've got some tools coming in GovAssist that will help block. You won't catch everything, like I say, there will always be the odd exception, but it will catch most of that. So if you go and put an email in and it contains a lot of information that would identify an individual, it will warn you, and it can offer to redact it or block it. Same with documents. If you go to upload a document that might contain a load of bank details for somebody, or address details for somebody, and other personal information, again, it will block and advise you. A really good example of that, and I will try and show it later on. We have an emergency plan where I am in Waddesdon, and that contains members' personal details along with their personal contact details. Of course, it isn't a public document, but if we accidentally were to upload it into an AI and ask it to assist us with some updates, that information then has left you, and it no longer becomes controlled data, where in GovAssist it would warn you and redact that information. So that's a really exciting feature coming soon. So talking of AI and how we've been getting on here at Cloudy, I was just talking to a client before we've come onto this webinar today, and they are a GovAssist user, and they were talking about how here at Cloudy we've been leveraging GovAssist's capabilities. So what we have now, and I will show this shortly ahead of our demonstration, we have a committee and meeting management package that again is homegrown. It's our product, like GovAssist is, and leverages some of the capabilities that you find in GovAssist, the user friendliness, the data security, and the protection it offers your council data, and it adds a sprinkling of AI into that allows you to speed up your day-to-day committee and meeting management processes. And I'll show you a very, very quick look at that before we move on to GovAssist. So, demonstration time. If you have any questions or any areas you want me to have a look at, any areas you want me to focus on more, or you want me to give it some sample questions, I'm quite happy if you drop those into chat. Like I say, my colleague Matthew is there. He will be more than happy to assist. So let me come off that and press the magic button. I hope we can all see that now. If I can have a thumb on, fantastic. So Gov Meetings, as we were just saying before I move on, Gov Meetings, very, very similar, cloud-based, allows you to look at your meetings. I have a draft meeting here. I can go in, I can use a bit of AI. If I want to upload a finance report, I can drag and drop it. I can scan for planning applications local to us. I'm able to use AI to draft or suggest missing items. It can analyze previous agendas and current agendas to see, am I missing anything else? Don't need them. Do I have anything without descriptions? No, I don't. And how long will this go on for? So again, it's all in here. Same with minute taking. And this is what, again, one of the areas where GovAssist and GovMeetings work closely together. Is the language in which they use. So I'm going to go, we'll go into a meeting and I'll take out the minute line from that and I'll let it draft me a minute. There we go. Let's move on for apologies for absence. Again, let's take that out. We'll use the same AI technology that we use in GovAssist to help draft these documents. So in here, I could just put none. And what we can then do is enhance that using AI. And again, language that our sector recognizes. That's GovAssist. Gov Meetings uses a lot of the technology that we have in GovAssist and makes it a lot easier for you if you're managing meetings, committees, and so forth. This does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. There are extra AI areas, and we'd be more than happy to show you. So, GovAssist, let's have a look. There are some areas that we want to look at today that are new and some areas that have been in the platform for a while that you may or may not have seen. Recently, you might have noticed we've added some roles into this, and each role has got a bit of a starter question to get you going, give you a bit of an idea on a prompt. So if you were to ask it a particular question, you could choose the role that you wanted it to do. So if I'd asked it to summarize a recent meeting, agenda and minutes, I could then have that focused on social media, or I might want something a bit more formal for the website. So these roles will alter the output of the assistance. So if I was to ask a very basic general question, let me go into, I'm going to ask governance. Mine are slightly different to yours, so I'm going to ask governance and give it a question to ask. Bear with me, let me try this. So something like this, and I can ask it. That's typically in a demonstration, isn't it? It's just what you want. Let me sign back in again. Sorry. These things happen during live demonstrations, and it normally only ever happens to me while I'm trying to demonstrate something new. So, right, let's get rid of that and sign back in. There we go. Let's get back into here where I was. Let's try that again. Right, GovAssist, we're happy with my question. So, again, I'm going to ask it, and this is a quick answer that it's given me. Very, very quick, simple, given us a couple of differences here in a table and where it's gone and looked that information up. So for those of you that have not used GovAssist, when you ask questions, it will come back with the references, the source information that it's used, assumptions that it's made. So again, and I'll show you where it gets those assumptions from, and its confidence that that answer it has given you is suitable. If I ask it to think deeper, it will ask itself the same question again, but it will use a lot more of its capabilities to answer that. And we can see it's working out here on the screen whilst it's thinking. And this will move along. There we go. And it will give us an answer, but it's a much more in-depth answer. And it may cite additional sources or give you additional examples to work with. So that's what they will do. Now, I could ask it from a writer's perspective to write me up a report. I could write up a social media report, maybe for our Facebook page at the council, or maybe LinkedIn or somewhere like that. Critical friend is a really interesting one as well. If I have an idea, I can run it past it with a critical friend's view of the topics that I am discussing with it. So again, these are new. Come in, as you saw, Think Deeper has arrived, and they line up with the top bars. Instant gives you a very quick, simple answer. Smart allows it to choose how long it thinks or reasons for based on the type of question that you have asked it. And Deep will make it think a lot longer. So if you're just after something very quick, so let me grab a quickie answer here. Let me do it on general. Let me just do that. Instant will give you a quick answer. It will check things still, but it will give you a much quicker answer. And I can increase the depth of that answer either by using my follow-up Think Deeper down here, or some additional questions have appeared, or I can toggle that up here. So they're there. And again, the roles down the bottom allow you to change that. So what else that we want to look at? So managing your council. So if you've set up GovAssist, or you're new to GovAssist and you've not seen it before, you will have a council that you can manage in here. And the first area is My Council. These are details about your council, what type of council you are, how many members you have, where you are located, your key documents. So these really are important. In here, you can upload all of your policies, any templates you have, maybe when responding to grants or planning applications, anything like that, you can upload here, and you can use them in GovAssist when answering questions. Takes, as you say, most standard documents, Word documents, PDFs, and so forth. So you can add all of them into GovAssist, and when GovAssist answers a question, it will reference those documents. For planning, and this is something that Leani will mention, in here we can tell it the status of your neighbourhood plan, local plan, and when it was made. So when it is answering certain questions, it then will know the answers to these. Same with your council profile. When it is answering certain questions, these will change the answer that it gives. And again, you know, if we're looking at spending some money, depending on whether we have the general power of competence or not, we'll alter that. Same with what your precept level is. Again, that will alter that. So really important, when you get GovAssist set up, those of you who are admins in GovAssist, so it's normally the clerk and officers that are in there, go in and get your policies and your documents in there. Doesn't take very long. You can drag and drop them all on. It will upload them all together and you'll be up and running. Probably the first thing I would do is go and make sure that my council page is up to date. Then invite some other people in to join me. So if I want to add, I can just put someone's details in, as we can see here, and I can have them as an admin. So if I want someone else to be able to manage my council, I can choose. If I don't grant them admin, they then will only see their own settings. They can't change any council-wide settings. And again, you can invite in as many people to your council as you want. And you will see here that they have been invited. If you think, okay, they've not responded, I can just remove that particular person from there and invite someone else. This also ties up with licenses as well. If I purchase some licenses, I might have purchased a Pro or a Pro Plus license. I can go in here and assign those licenses to people. If you buy a chat pack, chat packs are automatically assigned. So think of a chat pack as a pay-as-you-go usage pot. They are automatically assigned to you. So everybody gets a bit of free usage every day, rolls over at night. If you find that you are very busy chatting with it and you'll see the little bar along the top getting darker, you will know you're running out of usage for the day. You can either wait to the next day and let it reset. You can buy a chat pack, and again, they are only available to admins. You can come in here and you can buy a pay-as-you-go pack. Basically, that gives you another day, 2.5 weeks, and so forth. So you can buy that. The packs are shared with everybody. So if there's 2, 3, 4 of you at a council using GovAssist and you buy a pack, everybody can use that pack. Everyone can benefit from that pack. You can buy a license. A license is an individual's license, and you can buy annually, and it's significantly cheaper to buy that way. What you then can do is you remove that chat ceiling, so you've got a lot more usage that you can use, but they are individual. So if there's only you at the council as a clerk officer, and you're using it a lot, remember, everybody gets a starter one. The plus pack, if you're doing in some planning examples, you might consume quite a few of your usage. You may consume some of your usage there. You can buy a chat pack and just keep going. Instant, you can buy it straight away and it's applied straight away. You don't need to come and ask us to do that. If you really like it, you can buy a license for it and assign that to your self. And again, more like if you buy additional licenses, because there's more of you at the council that wants licenses, you get a discount on your second or more licenses. And again, all of this can be bought online. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Can only be bought by admins. So if there is you and you are the only admin, only you can purchase it. So if you've invited your members in and members are using it, you might have a planning committee and they're using it to look at planning applications or summarize planning applications, then again, they may want a license or a chat pack. So that's one thing to think of, and that's all available under here. So you can see what you've ordered, what subscriptions are available to you. Last couple of bits I will touch on this. My settings are you as an individual, what license has been assigned to you and what assistance you have access to, and your password if you've set a password. That's all in here, and your role. So if you were the deputy clerk and you're promoted to clerk, you can change that yourself and they are saved. The other part of this is the system's memory. Again, a recent change. It can remember, whilst you're chatting, pertinent topics that you've spoken about, or you can ask it to remember certain things about you. David does an example. I am David. So David does a couple of examples where he mentions maybe a favorite food or a drink or something like that. I like black coffee or something like Americano. It will remember that. The useful part of this is if you are chatting away to it and you've told it, this is our way we have reports, this is the makeup of our committees, our working groups, and it's remembered all of that, you won't need to tell it next time. When we do all of the AI training, context is really, really important to AIs to get a good answer. GovAssist is sort of 80% of the way there. When you join GovAssist, it asks you lots of questions to get you going, and they help give it that context. Memory adds to that as well, so you can add it. And memory is individual to a user, so my memory will be different to David's memory, or Matthew, or your memory. And you can manage that directly. If it's remembered something you think, oh, I don't want it to remember that anymore, you can just go and delete that, and it won't surface that answer again. I did mention tools quickly before. I ping us over to Leani in a second. We've got what's changed in a planning summariser. So a planning summariser is a useful tool, and you could use this hand in hand with the assistance from ONH. You can drag a planning document and its associated diagrams on. So this is one I've just grabbed from the planning portal, and this will analyze those documents that I have uploaded and produce you a summary report from the documents I've given it. If you've uploaded your neighbourhood plan and local plan, it can test against those as well and give you some information back on that. Again, it's a briefing. The idea is you could do this, attach this report to a planning application that will then, of course, help members make the determination. And we probably noticed up here, our neighbourhood plan is older than 5 years old, so it does note that. So again, as I was saying on earlier on, GovAssist, when you set it up, lots of the output that it gives uses those settings to make those determinations when it's answering. And I can copy that or clear that, and it's given me all of the details. As it remembered, I hadn't uploaded those documents, so it knows it can't use them. They're there. And what's changed? So what's changed will scan all of the current sector websites that exist and look for what's new. So again, I think everybody gets emails from everybody telling you this is new, this has been updated. The idea of this tool came about because lots of people went and visited a variety of websites looking for information. This will go and check that for you and give you a summary and the links so you could go and click and have a look. It looks back probably a month, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It will depend from the last time that you've done it. So it will have a scan to see what's been published recently in the public domain, whether it's on legislation.gov or democracy.gov and the varying websites. And there we go. And it will give us a nice report with some links to go and have a look at that. Useful for us. And again, it's focused on town and parish councils. As you can probably see, it gives us a little note here, impact on town and parish councils, what that would be. And we can go then and have a look. Saves you looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 websites in one go. You can ask the tool will go off and find that. And we've got some more tools coming, like I say, grants are coming and a policy tool. They will be here shortly as well. The idea with this is you've got easy access, quick access to the tools, and again, the output is adjusted to match your council. So they're coming soon. So I did mention the marketplace earlier on. So here is our GovAssist marketplace, and in here you will find additional assistance. So if you've only got AVA, our general one, and you have governance as well, you will find in here some addition. Now, I've got some test ones in here, so don't worry if you can't find them all, but everything else will be in here in yours. And I mentioned earlier on the ONH assistants are available in the marketplace. And I think that is a brilliant time to hand over to Leani. Leani, if you could, please.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. Yes, essentially in that marketplace, you'll find 3 assistants that we created. And how I normally describe them is the ONH Planning Basics is a free version. And that is for those of you who had contact with local planning authorities generally quite a few years ago now. You used to be able to just phone up the planning department and speak to someone in the planning admin team, and they generally used to be able to advise on general topics. So that's what your planning basics agent is for. and that one is free, so it has got limited functionality. You can't it can't create anything for you, but you can ask it questions, and it's there just to get in your mind right what it is you want to know. And as I say, it's the equivalent of just ringing up and speaking to someone in the planning admin team. We then have a planning advanced agent in that marketplace, and that one is the equivalent of, you used to be able to see duty planning officers. So the planning department used to put on a planning officer every day in the morning, and members of the public or town and parish councils could go and have a chat with them and ask them specific questions about specific things. And that's what we say our kind of advanced model is for. So there's an annual fee attached to that, but we have just launched a free trial. So before you depart with any of your money, you can give it a try to see how, if it is what you thought that you might want to have used it for. So some of those planning summaries that Steve talked about, you could upload into there and ask it to actually write your representation for you once members have had a chance to discuss the matter, and link it to real policies. The third agent that is in there is the neighbourhood planner. As part of purchasing the neighbourhood planner, we do on the introduction explain that we highly recommend, alongside purchasing that, you purchase a health check package. Now, the purpose of the neighbourhood planner are for those neighbourhood plans that are either new or want to modify, that don't intend on straying into site allocations. So just simple modification, but you really want some help along the way, but maybe your council doesn't see the point in paying a lot of money just for a refresh or just for a small neighbourhood plan, and so this is an opportunity to create a credible neighbourhood plan for under £5,000. So it doesn't have those big price tags attached to it that I think some people might think it does out there. So the neighbourhood planner allows you then and helps guide you through the process, what it is you need to do, etc. It can create templates, it can write policies, but as I said, we don't recommend it for a site allocating plan. And we do think that that kind of support is currently outside the scope of the robots, but we'll see if that changes. So what I'll do, if I can share screen.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, you should be able to.
Let's just have a look.
There we go.
Is that the wrong screen? Can you see?
That's GovAssist. That's
you can see
up,
GovAssist. Yeah.
Yep. All there. All there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. So from the marketplace, you would add your O&H basics for free, or you could start a trial for advanced or neighbourhood planner, and they would then show up in your assistance. So as I mentioned, you have basics where you could ask it, we could ask it, what's a material consideration in planning application decisions, and that's then going to go away and think about it. And there's your summary, a bit of detail, what is, what isn't, how it's normally used, what kind of assumptions it's made. And you can do all of the things that Steve showed you earlier on in the everyday AI as part of the platform. Then your planning advanced is a little bit, as I said, more intense because it is behind a paywall, but you can have a free trial. And here you can upload documents, you can upload that planning application summary we spoke about earlier. It can write your local plan or planning application response. But as I mentioned earlier, and in fact, I suspect the AI will probably warn you, is that there are rules and regulations in the planning system, certainly at the moment, and coming to the forefront to where particularly, for example, PINS, the Planning Inspectorate, would like to know if you've used AI. So it's important to use it responsibly. So in this case, obviously, I don't have a local plan because I'm not part of the council, so I don't have that uploaded into my council part. And it does tell you that it can't do that. But what it can do is help you work through a local plan response. In your neighbourhood planner, that's quite an easy one. So how can we protect local green spaces? So if we work through one of those potentially, and maybe even ask it to write policy or draft a template. So it explains what a local green space designation is. It explains the tests that a local green space designation needs to have. It indicates what kind of supporting material you might need to support that in your plan. It gives you some advice about what is more likely to succeed at examination. And then a kind of practical process for your council to take forward. Gives you some cautionary tales, particularly the use of AI, just because in that profession, that's something that's coming out at the moment. Provides an important note on local plans, tells you which citations it's used. So it's supported by the NPPF, supported by PPG. By the way, we will be updating the model when the new NPPF comes out. So every time there's new planning legislation, we'll be working hard in the background to update it so that it's always giving you the most up-to-date information. So let's ask, can you provide a template for local green space designations? And there's your template. And your tests. And it can export that for you into a Word style pro forma if you wish. Okay. What I'm going to do now is just invite any questions. I do have to move on to another webinar. So if there's any specific questions for me before I go, please let me know.
We've been having a little look.
Anything in the chat, Steve?
I think you're lucky. I think that was really, really good. And what I was going to do, just to give people a bit of an idea if I'm on the right, well, there I am on the right one. This time is, as we saw, I'm going to ask it a bit of a question about a planning application. And this is a good example. So I want to review a planning application, and I'm going to be using the planning advance to do this. So I've uploaded the files and now it's having a think. And this is where the tool really comes into its own. You can give it as much information as possible. The team at ONH have done a fantastic job of decoding the mysteries of planning. So as we can see here, it's pulling apart all of the documents that have been uploaded. I've also, whilst you've been chatting, I've uploaded our neighbourhood plan and local plan, an older local plan, but I've updated a local plan. So then again, I can ask it to go and have a look at
pull out the relevant policies.
Yeah, to have a look with that. So again, we can see here it's going through responses. It's given an address to follow up. So I could ask it, I hope this could work. basis. So this will read our neighbourhood plan and local plan that I've uploaded via my council page. Now, someone did ask about dates in chat. I did see if your documents contain dates. So ours is made 2017. It will know that that is the date of it. It will read it and know. There is an option in there to specify the date for a made neighbourhood plan. So when it was made, you can put that in there to apply 5-year rule and housing land supply rules, etc., etc. But it will read the document. So if you don't specify a date, you upload the document, it will read it. So as we can see here, and obviously this is Leani's area of expertise. This has read our neighbourhood plan, and it's worked out this is our October 2017 made version. It's looked at our policies, and it's then comparing that with the information that the applicant has provided on the application form and the diagrams. And again, as we can see, it's given main points for members. And this is the important bit. If you're using the tool to assist members ahead of a planning meeting or similar, this is a really useful tool, especially if you've got quite a few planning applications to work through. That hasn't taken me many minutes, and I've got a very, very useful report. It also would help that if I was going back to if we'd engaged a planning agent such as ONH and said to them, look, we've got this coming up, this is our report from your assistant, they're going to know where you got that information from, and it's enhanced level of accuracy compared to just Googling for it. And here we've got a proposal, and again, it's given us some recommendations built on that, and it's offering to do some additional reports as well. So a really, really good use for the tool there. And Leani, thank you for coming along today and speaking with us.
No problem, Steve. Sorry, I can't stick around for longer.
You know, you're off to do something local plan based, I believe, aren't you?
Buckinghamshire local plan based, yes.
Exciting.
So I might see some of you there.
Yes, yes, probably will. Right, thank you for joining us. We look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you, Steve.
No problem. Right, let's move on. So that again is really, really useful in as a tool. It's given me some output. So this is concise wording for my Parish Council report. So that's using ONH Planning Advanced. So I'm just going to pop back to governance, and a couple of people have asked about some example questions. I can ask it something difficult like this, and that's what I'll let you read that up on the screen. We can see that there. It's quite a complex question, and again, it's given us a bit of a read through of that question, and I've got some example output, so it's telling us that. Now, I could swap to a critical friend and ask exactly the same question as a critical friend, and then it gives me a slightly different answer based again on that role. We swapped its role from a general role to a role as a critical friend, and again it's coming back with that particular voice on when it answers, and we can see there it's giving us the same similar answer to that question that we had earlier on: likely failures, immediate steps, and again as a critical friend it's come back with those particular answers here. Really, really useful tool. Again, it's baked in governance and updates from democracy.gov.uk, governance.gov.uk, and so forth, and the information that you've given it, as we saw in that example I've just done with ONH Advanced Planning. I gave it our neighbourhood plan and it used it straight away. So if you're testing a planning application, you can test it against your neighbourhood plan policies and help produce a report for it. As you mentioned, if you go to the marketplace, there are trials available for their paid for assistance, so you can get an idea of how they work, what they do, how they function, how they might work at your council. And like I say, I think someone asked a question. So Ava, I think I have got Ava in my example. Ava is like a general AI, and it can do, if you're a chat GPT, someone may be using Claude or Gemini, Ava's got less constraints. The guardrails aren't quite so tight on Ava, and Ava can do a lot more. So again, let's see. This will give you an idea of it. HTML. So something very reasonable that you could ask a lot of AI systems, but again, this will adapt. And there we go. Some HTML. For those that like HTML, there's some HTML for our holding page. Usefully, and I hope that you've noticed this, it's picked up our council name. So it hasn't put something like put council name here in brackets that appears on the website. And it's also put the contact details in from our council, and of course added in a line down the bottom. So I could output that now as an HTML document, download it, or start building these pages in here. So Ava is a really good, useful, general purpose, but focused AI. And again, as we were mentioning earlier on, if you buy an annual subscription and you're using Ava Governance, maybe ONH's planning advanced tool, it's exceptionally good value. You know, as we can see there, £17 a month is getting you a pro license on the platform, allowing you to use all these existing assistants that are there. Some of you may have noticed we add assistants as we're going. Someone had asked in chat, so we are looking at finance and budgeting tools that we want to add into the platform again. So you'll have AI tools that will help you maybe decode your budget, your expenditure, your receipts lists, and so forth, and produce charts and other reports from them. You might be doing some budget setting in sort of September, October, November time this year. You can use GovAssist to help you analyze your expenditure over the last year, and you can do some what ifs with it. Give it those reports from whatever finance package you've got, and said, what if we need to do that? What if we need to add another staff member? What if these costs rise? And it can give you those different scenarios. Again, you've got those different assistants. So governance focuses strangely on governance. There are others available in the marketplace, and then you've got Ava. Ava is your all-round AI that just can do your general day-to-day tasks. And again, there are some purchasable assistants, as we've seen from ONH today. You can purchase some more advanced assistants that, again, the time and effort saved using those assistants will pay for themselves time and time again. So that's really me at the end of my little bit. Now, Matt, have we got any questions at all in chat that anyone's asked that we might want to have a bit of a look at on the platform at all?
Nothing in particular. I don't know if anybody wants to put them down.
If anyone's got any particular questions, like we're not doing bad for time. We've got 10 minutes, and if any of you are local and do have to drop off to that local plan webinar, that's absolutely understandable. But if you've got any questions that you want to see, please drop that down into chat. What have we? Yeah, I can see Matt's been answering a lot of the questions. Oh, sorry, Caroline. Was it scrolling up too quick? Yeah, I get that. We are going to make the recording available of the webinar so that you can watch it back in your own time. And I do apologise. Sometimes when it's producing output, it's quite quick, and that may not always be conveyed very well on a video call. But if there are any questions, please feel free to raise your hand like so, or drop those into chat, or like I say before we wrap up at the end of the session, ask, and we're happy to drop it into GovAssist, see how we get on. I think we're lucky, Matt. We've escaped some difficult questions today. So recapping.
One from Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, sorry, apologies. Is the meetings tool something we add? Well, the meetings tool is there's a couple. So Gov Meetings itself is a separate product that you can sign up to. There is a meetings assistant that will work hand in hand that can help you with agendas and minutes. In the future, Gov Meetings and GovAssist will be linked. So in Gov Meetings, if you produced an agenda and some minutes, they will be available to GovAssist. So you could say to it, could you show me the spending in the last 3 finance meetings, and it can sum that information up for you. So that's coming through. That's a really exciting capability. Adding to that, there will also be a widget available for your websites, and this is part of our hope for the future, that you will be able to ask. And now I might be able to do a bit of a demo. There we go. So on our Cloudy Council website here at Cloudy Town, we have a little widget, and you will be able to ask that questions, and this can talk to GovAssist. So, and you can control what information that has access to. So in GovAssist, that's my meeting that we've got next set up for it. Although it's historical, I'm in our demo environment, that is the next one. You will be able to ask that questions, and in GovAssist control what it answers. So that's a really exciting feature coming for the future. I saw some questions. Is there a proper way to ask GovAssist questions? GovAssist, we spent a lot of time making it understand basic questions. So probably as brief a question as you can ask it. So, and there it has given the answer to that question. We've tried to take a lot of the hard work out of how you ask it a question. And again, all of you on the screen, if I said S137 amount, some of you might tell me what that means, or how I calculate it, or what it is, or what its value is. So it's gone for the current value. So we've tried desperately to make it so you don't have to ask it in-depth questions. However, the better question you ask it, the better answer you will get from it. Context is important. Your level of understanding of the subject. So if you were researching something you haven't done previously, you could say to it, I'm new to this, I don't have much experience in X, can you assist me? And the output will be adjusted to suit that. The more context, the better the answer that it will give you. And if you can give it some examples. Last month we were working on a similar project. The answers you gave were great. Can you reference that when answering these questions this time around? It will get what you are saying. Pro and Pro Plus. So Pro, for most people, you will get away with Pro. Pro Plus has a couple of extra, again, we have a ceiling for each tier. The Pro Plus ceiling is much higher than the Pro one. If you think, let's think Pro is 10 times, Pro Plus is like 20 times the amount of chat. But again, if you have a very busy, let's say you're very busy with planning applications, neighbourhood plan, you've got the ONH planning advanced, and you have the neighbourhood planner, and you're very busy on the platform, you might want the Pro Plus one. But try the Pro one first. Try a chat pack, try the Pro one. If you do find occasionally you're getting usage warnings, you can always upgrade. Again, there's no commitment to the term unless you paid annually. there are no commitments you sign up to. So if you pay for Pro monthly for 3 months and then you want to do Pro Plus for a couple of months, you can swap and change accordingly. Let me have a little look. Do we simply use the main GovAssist dashboard to access the meeting capability? So GovAssist and GovMeetings are separate. So in GovAssist, you'll be able to ask questions. So if you can imagine, I am in GovAssist now. I've got a new chat and I've got it linked to GovMeetings. I will be able to ask assistants, can you tell me about the last planning meeting? I might be wanting to write something for social media. You know, GovAssist, the last planning meeting, can you highlight the outcomes of that meeting for our Facebook page? And it will do that. What else do we have? I hope that like I say, they are two separate products, but they will be able to work together. They'll have sight of each other. No, GovMeetings is purely cloud-based. So you don't need, or bar Microsoft 365 for the one primary user, you don't need any app. It understands hybrid meetings, whether Teams or Zoom. And again, if remote meetings become a thing again, now Wales, of course, they can use it in hybrid. If remote meetings become a thing, GovMeetings is ready for that. There's just a flick inside it. At the moment, it's set for England, where you can attend meetings virtually, but you won't be part of the attendance or the voting pool. Working groups, task to finish groups, you can use GovMeetings and attend virtually. Absolutely not a problem. Officers could attend a full council meeting virtually, and again, that's allowed. But for voting members, you must be there in person. When the legislation changes, flick a switch, you will be able to use GovMeetings in a hybrid mode, including secure electronic voting. Are there any more questions? In chat, we will drop, there is a tool that allows you to get a quote for GovMeetings. Let me just get that up here. Copy that. I will drop, that is in chat now. So if any of you are interested in GovMeetings, please go there. That gives you the pricing for it. GovAssist, as we've mentioned previously, go to govassist.co.uk. You are able to let me skip all. You can read all about GovAssist here, all of its capabilities. You can sign up for free. Again, like I say, sign up, get your council set up, see how you get on. There's no commitment. You get free daily usage. If you like it and you're really enjoying it, you can buy a pay-as-you-go pack, you can buy a license, you can go to the marketplace, get yourself some additional assistance. Get Ava. Ava's really, really good. And they get better over time as well. So once they begin to learn more about how you interact with it and that all-important memory feature, keep your documents up to date. Use the memory to have it remember. When I'm doing a financial report, remember I want a table and a chart. Every time you do a financial report, it will give you a table and a chart. Use those tools that are available to you. Very nearly 1 o'clock. So I'm going to say, and Liz has said something. Liz's council has GovMeetings, and I think Liz is very, very happy with how it works. We've got quite a few councils on the platform now, and they find for committee and meeting management, it's probably going to become one of those go-to tools for it. Works really, really well, and is of course A, sector aware, and B, aware of other products in the suite. So whichever finance package you have, it will be aware of that as well. Yeah, so Scarborough there, thank you. GovAssist, make sure that's a really, really good example. We use that for where I am at Wadston. We will take agendas and minutes, drop them into GovAssist, use the writer option and say, write this up for members of the public and not basically in our language. Make it nice and friendly and make it really engaging. And it does a brilliant job. It takes out all of the language that people, the general public wouldn't get, and makes it clear what you've done. If you ever have a look on Waddesdon's social media pages or our website, you will see where content has come from GovAssist. Makes a really, really good job of it. In fact, actually, while we've still got a few people here, we can cheat a little bit. So on our council page, we did some budget setting, and all of this content was created by GovAssist, including the charts. So everything on our budget setting page, GovAssist did for the clerk and I, including calculating from a financial report what we spent some money on. And then we wanted to present to residents the best way to explain how we were spending money. And it said, for every £1, show the pennies in that. So we can see grants a penny, premises 9p. Really, really, really clear, easy. And as the clerk at Scarborough said, in a language the public would get, except this took me and the clerk 20 minutes. And that's where it is a tool that saves you time. You've got all of this information. You've got your council tax bill. You've got your finance reports. Let tools like GovAssist make the most of those without you having to manually do a lot of that work. That's it for me. We sneaked just over 1 p.m. If you do have any questions, drop us an email, drop your comments in chat. We will make the recording available afterwards. You can go to govmeetings.co.uk, read about that, govassist.co.uk, get yourselves signed up, get your council up and running, put those all important documents into GovAssist to get the best answers from it. Other than that, thank you from me, Matt and David as well.